Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is Helia. I live in Toronto, Canada. I'm originally from Iran, and I am a manifestation coach. I help people to learn how to manifest their dream life. It can be anything from finances, jobs, business, relationships, even health.
So how did you get into this work, Hillia? Where did it kind of start for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I've always been into personal development, spirituality. I always read books in that sense since I was, I think, maybe a teenager. I always was curious about getting to know myself and people and the world better. So that was something that I was always passionate about, but I didn't have that as my career. So when I moved to Canada, it was 12 years ago. I never worked in my life, and I started working as an admin in an office, and I never liked 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with 9 to 5. If someone is 9 to 5 and enjoying it, good for you. It was not for me. I always wanted to have my own business, my freedom of time. So the first thing I could think of was from where I was real estate. So I got my real estate license and started in real estate, which was so hard. I remember at some point I told myself, if I can make it in this business, I can do absolutely anything in life. It was really hard for me. I didn't have any sales background. I didn't even know that real estate is about sales. I thought you just buy a nice car, you sit in your car and you drive around, show homes to people, and you match, which is so not the case. So I struggled a lot, and I took few different coaches, real estate coaches, and my business started to be kind of okay, but really hard work, hustling all the time, door knocking, cold calling, until I saw one of Bob Proctor's videos on YouTube. I heard about him. I saw him on the movie The Secret many years ago, but never really followed him to see what is his teachings. On that YouTube video, they were offering 5 days event, and I joined, and I was hooked. For your viewers, if you don't know Bob Proctor, so he was in the movie, the documentary The Secret, which talks about law of attraction, like the first mainstream law of attraction thing that came to the market about 20 years ago. And Bob has been studying this material for over 60 years. Law of attraction, the mind, the laws of the universe. And they had this program to help with businesses, to help with finances, how to multiply your income, turn your annual income into your monthly income, meaning earn in 1 month what you earn in 1 year. And my mind was just blown hearing that. And I thought, and they had so many testimonials of people who've done it actually. So I took his course. It was a 6 months program, and my real estate business shifted like day and night. I started winning awards in my office. I became an award winning agent. Then a lot of listings I got into luxury listings. So it became easier. Not only I made more money, I made more money easier,
Mm.
because I got into a higher price homes, so my commission was larger, and I enjoyed it for a while. But then at some point, I found myself talking about law of attraction and manifestation to people more than real estate, like in gatherings.
Mm.
As a real estate agent, you're supposed to say what you do, to find new clients. And I found myself, instead of talking about real estate, I was talking about manifestation. And I thought, it's time to switch because obviously I'm not enjoying real estate as much as before. And I really got obsessed with this material. So I decided to take his 1 year program to become a licensed consultant. And I remember no one in my family supported me in that sense, like, because they were saying, and I want to say that our family and people who are close to us, sometimes they love us so much, but they have a very limited perspective.
Mm.
We know inside what is good for us, what is in our hearts. They don't know. They are not in our shoes. So my parents, my ex, they were all like, you are finally doing so great in real estate. Why do you have to keep switching? Why do you keep doing that in your life? Just stay with one thing. I was not happy. I could not. I didn't care how much money I made. I was not happy. So I remember one day I went to my ex and I said, listen, this is what I want to do. I just want you to support me. Trust me. I'm going to make it happen. This is my life purpose. This is my life mission. I'm really, really obsessed with this thing. So, long story short, I got into the coaching program. I got my license and I started, and that was almost 3 years ago, not even 2.5 years ago. And that's all I do right now. This is my
Mm.
full-time job. I don't do any real estate. If I have past clients, I just refer them to a couple of good real estate agents that I know. And everything I teach about manifestation, law of attraction, all these amazing things, it's all online. So I have clients from all over the world, which I love.
Going back to then, if we can, like the shift for you going from, kind of struggling in that energy of and your real estate to then suddenly feeling free and creating more money easily, I think was the words you were using. Thank you, team.
Hmm.
What would you say would be like a couple of shifts that you could kind of share with people that really helped you, like with your mindset or taking
Hmm.
action or embodiment? Like, what were the main things that really helped you
Yes.
elevate there?
The first thing was that I was not obsessed as much that I was in real estate about making money. It was not about money, it was more about service, and it was more about doing what I enjoy. So I was in the energy of really loving my days, not dragging myself out of bed, really getting up for the first time in my life. I wake up excited in the morning. So the energy was, I really was in the flow. I was enjoying what I was doing all day long. Didn't matter how much money I made. When I help people and I get the feedback, that was just so fulfilling
Mm.
that it lifted me up even more. So that was one thing. The other thing was that I learned from Bob, which helped me at the end with my real estate business. It is about your identity and how you see yourself. So when I first started real estate, and that's why I was struggling a lot, I was still in the back of my mind in the identity of 9 to 5, being in a cubicle. Everything has to be in order, very structured. I was not in the energy and identity of a real estate agent, of a business owner, of
Mm.
an entrepreneur. I didn't feel that in my body. So it reflected in my business. And then when I learned to do that at the end, that's how my real estate business shifted. And I did the same thing in my coaching business. So it's one of the modules that I teach is about self-image. Whatever you are doing, your followers, your viewers, if you want to become successful at that, you have to really go within and build the image of the person you want to become. It is not about doing things. It is not about forcing yourself to take a specific actions. It's not about the action. It's about your identity and how you see yourself. So I started really seeing myself as a coach, as a mentor, as a teacher, as someone who can take people's hand and help them, guide them, take them from A to B. Every day, I literally did this practice of visualization. I still do that. So in the mornings, after I do my meditation for 10 minutes every day, I close my eyes and I see myself as a successful coach, as someone who people can trust, as someone who can help people, who can guide people, and really feel it in your body. So it's about self image, it's about the embodiment of the thing that you want to do. It's all energetic, as you know.
Mm.
It's not about the actions. The action is next.
Mm.
First is about the energy and the image. So one practice that is really, really helpful that I always recommend everyone to do for the rest of your life is visualization. And when you do the visualization, again, it is not about the action, just close your eyes, see yourself. It's about energetically connecting to that version. Whatever you're seeing in your mind energetically already exists. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be able to see it. So
Mhm.
we know scientifically that everything is energy. I am made of energy, you're made of energy, this laptop is made of energy. Thoughts are also energy. So when you think about something, you tap into that thing on an energetic level. It means that already exists in a thought form. So the more you connect with it, the more you can bring it to the physical 3D world.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we always say as well. Everything that you want into desire in life is already on a timeline. You just got to work out how to energetically bring it in and then embody that. And then the tiny thing is usually the action. Yeah. But I think a lot of humans get
Yes.
stuck on actually taking the action because of
Hmm.
fear. We
Hmm.
see a lot of it in our work. I don't know if you do, Hillier, but people self-sabotage or tell themselves that they're not worthy of it, or fear crops up. And I always say, if you just took that action, you'd move through that fear.
Hmm.
You
That's
know,
so true. Yes, because as the more they wait, the fear becomes bigger and the anxiety overwhelms them more. It's
yeah.
actually another lesson that I teach. Bob Proctor calls it terror barrier. He says it's literally like a barrier that you have to walk through. And it's
Mm,
part of life. If you're doing something great with your life, if you want to get out of your comfort zone and create more for yourself, for your family, for community, for people, it is part of the process to experience the fear. It's inevitable. It's part of it. You just have to learn how to deal with it, how to go through it, and how
yeah.
to take the action. And as you said, the action is a small part of it. Most of the results that we're getting, 96% of the results come from our subconscious. But sometimes the action makes you to move through that fear.
And my tea was just reminding, like, the action also signifies to the universe that you're really serious about what you're doing, and usually
Hmm.
elevates your frequency so you can attract more of the same, right?
Yes,
So you move your
yes,
feet, and then the universe will match you.
yes.
There's also another point my team wanted me to pick up on with you. This notion around money, right? We talk about money quite a lot on this channel because I think in the spiritual realm, in our kind of niche in coaching, there's kind of like so many different opinions about money and getting more money and abundance. And I loved how you said, like, I used to do well at real estate, and I earned money, but I wasn't happy. Like, I'd love to
Hmm.
hear your views on money, abundance, that kind of thing. How do you view
Yeah,
it?
when it comes to spirituality, I feel like there are a lot of people that think because I'm into spirituality, I shouldn't be thinking about money. That is also wrong. So, when I started my coaching business, I said I was not thinking about money. It was not about money, and I was not obsessed about money. I was thinking about service. But that doesn't mean that I was willing to give my service for free
Mm,
because we live in a 3D physical world. And
mm,
everything we have, everything we do requires money. This is something that I just recently found out in the last few months that the majority of people, I dare to say 99.9% of people, all have some kind of money blocks. The energetics of money, if you look at the people around you or everywhere in the society, there is so much blockages in people's minds. It comes from our childhood, it comes from our previous generations, our ancestors. And money, like everything else, as we were speaking just right now, it's energy. Money is neutral. It's not positive, it is not negative. Bob always said it's an amplifier, it's a multiplier.
mm,
So if you are a good person, if you do good, when you have more money, you do even more good. And if you're a
mm,
bad person, unfortunately, you do more bad things if you get money. So money is neutral. It's just a vehicle. It's just going to help you to live it. And I always say, if you want to be of service, but you're worried about paying your bills and your mortgage, you cannot be fully in service because you're always worried and you don't have that freedom of energy and thought freedom to go out there and really help people. Maybe
mm.
the reason why I was not concerned about money at the beginning of my business was that because I had a lot of saving from my real estate business.
Yeah, and
So
that helped
uh,
you.
I just want to make this clear that there's nothing wrong with money and absolutely everything wrong with lack of money. Because again,
Mm,
if you are suffering, if you're struggling with your bills, with your mortgage, with your expenses, you cannot be and live the best, fullest, freest version of you. So you don't benefit. People around you don't benefit. The community doesn't benefit from you. But when you don't have that and you remove all the blockages, you learn that there's nothing wrong with money. And money actually, I always say that money grows on trees. Remember, we heard that money doesn't grow on trees? It does. It's made of paper.
yeah.
And who decides how much money we can have in this world? Like, what is the source of money? It's unlimited.
Mm,
The more people have higher consciousness and awareness, the more money will be manifested in this world because the governments can keep printing the money. And
printing
it's
it,
not
yeah.
even about It is not even printed anymore. It's all like cards, and it is literally the exchange of energy, as we can see. And money
Absolutely.
has to do a lot again with the self image,
Mm.
how we see ourselves. And another thing that I teach is the money financial thermostat. We all have a financial thermostat, meaning that you know how when you set a thermostat in your home, it's a set number and it just keeps it there. If it gets colder, it brings it up back there. It gets hot, it just turns off. To bring it to the same number, it's the same thing for our finances. That's why if you look at people, friends, family, they all live the same kind of lifestyle financially year after year.
Mm.
And it's so interesting. If you look at people that they study, they get another degree, they change jobs, they even immigrate to another country, their lifestyle financially stays almost the same,
Mm.
except few cases that they become really aware that how to play with this money game. So it is all energy, and money is also another reflection of the self image. And you have to raise that thermostat, raise the standard. And again, that's with the self image. And it's a beautiful book. I want to recommend everyone to read. It's a book to be studied. It's called Psycho Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, and it is about self image. It's an amazing book. It changes everything in your life if you really study that book.
I'm of the same opinion to you. You know, I think you have to start somewhere with money, don't you? You have to get to a stage where you have to face the 3D perspective. And I think a lot of humans we see now where is some people just bury their heads in the sand and they don't deal with their 3D. So if you don't deal
Hmm.
with the basics and the groundings, you can't build on that. You know, like you said, people are habitual. They live the same way, they do the same things, even if they get more money, they'll probably spend it because they're not used to having.
Hmm.
You know, that's another thing we see as well.
Absolutely.
You know, people who are millionaires, but either they can't take time off work because they're so
Hmm.
scared of losing it, or they can't spend it. And that's not wealth either, right? You can't, if you
Yeah.
haven't got it and you can't enjoy it, then what's the point
Hmm.
in having it? So I think my team wanted to just come through and say like a free flow of energy. It gets to flow. It just doesn't get to come to you. You do get to spend it and enjoy it and share it. I think money in the
Hmm.
right hands is a really good.
Yeah, absolutely right. And one more thing about money. I had a reading with someone really amazing yesterday for the first time. I never had any readings. And the message came through that never be afraid of asking money from people when you deliver your service, because that shows your self worth, and the universe really likes that. And
Mm,
also you said something else about money, that people hold on to their money, especially millionaires. Money has to be in circulation. It
mm,
cannot be stagnant. People who keep their money, they're going to lose it in some way. So it's better to spend it, consciously, and decide how you want to spend it. And the more you help, the more you circulate the money, the more you have it back. Like my parents are such a good example. They keep helping people nonstop. Doesn't matter how much they have. It's just their habit. They keep helping people. They
mm.
keep giving money away, and they keep receiving money magically from different ways. They don't work
Oh,
anymore. They're retired, but it's so interesting when you see the more they help, the more they give money, the more money come to their life.
energy, and I can never say this word, but reciprocity. It's that reciprocal way of giving, isn't
Yes.
it? That I think whenever you give anything, we give in without
Anything.
expectation of return, and then the universe always provides in that space.
Yeah, it's true. And so I ask my community, what is it that they need more? Because I can help with relationships, finances, changing jobs. And the majority of people needed to learn how to make more money.
Where's the best place for people to kind of find out more about you, Hillier? Is it Facebook or the website?
Yeah, I'm actually almost on all platforms except TikTok. I'm on Facebook as Helia Ogani, my first name and last name, and Instagram it's Helia_Ogani. I'm on LinkedIn, Helia Ogani, and I have a YouTube channel, Helia Ogani.
And I just want to thank you for being here and really taking such a beautiful part in helping the whole collective
Thank
raise
you.
their frequency. It's really needed right now, especially with money as well. because,
Mhm.
if everyone has more money, life would be a lot sweeter, I think, just generally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Less worry, less legs, more free. Abundance is part of the nature, and we are
Yeah,
part of the nature. If you
yeah.
look at the nature, all the trees, the sand, the stars, the galaxies, there's abundance everywhere. Why shouldn't we be abundant? We're part of this nature too.
Thank you again
Awesome.
for being here, and thank
Thanks
you
for
to our
having me.
readers. You're welcome.